A lot of folk who subscribe to this channel are probably reliant on a Gmail account in one way or another. Whether you use it for your business email, or perhaps it's just used for controlling access to a website or domain names, or perhaps you've got a YouTube channel. Now, this video isn't about scaremongery or anything like that, but I just want you to think for a second what you would do if you lost access to your Gmail account. And more to the point, what would you do if a hacker had access to your Gmail account? Every email you've ever received or sent, access to your online banking, how many other accounts that you've got might be vulnerable if a password reset link was sent to your Gmail account, which is now being run by a hacker. You have got to take security of your Google account seriously. Google is generally already pretty secure, but if you rely on Gmail for anything vaguely important, get two-factor authentication up and running. You can use your mobile phone as an authentication device, but even that's not 100%. You can buy two-factor authentication USB fobs off the internet these days for very little money. I would strongly recommend, if nothing else, going down that route. Later on I'm going to tell you the route that I'm going to go down, but I want to explain to you that this isn't scaremongery, and I'm going to show you something that I came across the other day. So I was happily surfing the internet the other day and just looking through a few of the videos that had been released by channels that I subscribe to, and something popped up in my subscription feed that I thought was a little bit unusual. I don't really follow football at all, and there was loads of videos in my subscribed channels all relating to football, and they were all from a channel called Top 1 Football, which I'd never subscribed to. The only evidence I've got of this, I took a photograph of the TV screen at the time, and you can see there the football videos that are appearing in my subscription feed. So I had a look at this Top 1 Football channel that I'd never subscribed to, and it very quickly became clear that one of the channels I was subscribed to had been hacked. They used to put together really good factual science and geographic videos that had obviously had a huge amount of work put into them, and now their channel is just showing a whole load of ripped off football videos. The really sad thing in all of this is that I can't even remember the name of their channel. Interestingly now, if you try and click on those videos, this is what you get: video unavailable, and it looks like their whole YouTube account has been closed down. It's really horrific. If you imagine, it's hundreds if not thousands of hours of work have been wiped out. I've no idea if this guy's going to get his channel back. As I say, I can't even remember what the channel was called, so I wouldn't even know what to resubscribe to. They were almost certainly the victims of a phishing attack along the lines of this, where you get sent an email that looks like it's come from Google or YouTube, and you click on the link and it basically transfers ownership of your account over to someone else without you realizing. Another one I've seen is this particular email, which I don't know if it's genuine or not, but there's certainly no way on earth I'm going to click on those links that are down below there. You can see there's all sorts of nasty things in that URL, such as account transfer channel, skip identity prompt, all sorts of user authentication related stuff, and there is no way that I would risk clicking on those links. If you ever see emails like this, we've got one here that looks like it's come from YouTube that just says warning. We've got this one that looks like it comes from Google AdSense that says invalid click activity. We've got this one that says YouTube changes to the terms of service 2020. And as I say, I'm not sure if that one's a phishing attack or not, but I certainly wouldn't risk clicking on anything in it. And that seems to come from an account called Helper. And it just says, attention, they steal accounts this way. Please report to YouTube. If you see anything like that, delete it straight away. Do not open the email. Another way that accounts are being hacked as well, and this is really scary, quite advanced techniques are being used now by hackers to get into people's YouTube accounts. And this particular method I only found out via this guy's channel here, Kenneth Russell. I'll include a link to his video in the description. It's unbelievable the lengths the hackers have gone to get into this guy's account is really scary. And what they actually did was they pretended to be an advertiser wanting to run a sponsorship on his channel. I'll let you watch his video to find out what happened next, but to cut a long story short, he ended up getting a virus installed on his machine, and that virus ended up handing over control of his Gmail account and YouTube channel over to the hackers, and that was it. His channel wiped out instantly. As I say, link in the description to this video. Thank you, Kenneth Russell, for putting this together and letting everyone know about this. It really does need to be taken seriously. Another one here worth having a look at. This is on Marco Styles' channel. I'm not particularly familiar with these channels, by the way. It's just channels that I know have been hacked. Very similar kind of method, I think, that they got in through that, where the hacker pretended to be an advertiser wanting to run some sort of sponsorship on the channel. Again, link to their video in the description. Give it a watch. It's definitely worth looking into if you do have a YouTube channel. And Roberto Blake's put together a really good video as well about how to protect your YouTube channel from hackers, and one of the things that he's mentioned, which absolutely I agree with, is not to publicize your Gmail account that's associated with your YouTube channel. Don't publicize that account anywhere. It is worth noting that sadly two-factor authentication wouldn't really help in the situation where you're getting attacked via a virus that's installed on your computer. I find it massively frustrating that YouTube don't take this more seriously. YouTube and Google need to make it much harder to transfer ownership of channels, email addresses, and to change any of the details on AdSense where bank account details are being changed and things like that. But in the absence of YouTube sorting that out, don't open any emails that look even slightly suspicious. Don't publish your Gmail account publicly at all. Don't install any software on your computer unless you know it's from a legitimate source, even if it's coming from someone who looks like they're legitimately wanting to advertise on your channel. You really need to do your homework there. And as I say, make sure your account is protected by some form of two-factor authentication. I'm pretty security conscious, but if, like me, you are absolutely reliant on your Gmail account, there are steps you need to be taking to secure your account. This particular account has obviously been hacked in quite an advanced way. It's even possible that they bypassed two-factor authentication via mobile phones through a man-in-the-middle attack where they've intercepted the code that has been sent via the mobile phone. It's impossible to say, really, but what I've decided to do is go down the route of the Google Titan security key with Google's Advanced Account Protection program. If you use your Gmail account for anything important, anything ranging from online banking through to YouTube and all sorts of other things, you need to keep that account secure. I cannot stress it enough. Don't fall victim to the sort of hack that this poor guy's had. Now, just so that this isn't all doom and gloom, and this is more going to be aimed at YouTubers who are watching this, but there's a simple fix that you can make to your channel to make sure this doesn't happen again, although to be fair, it's too late for the email address that has already been targeted. That will now be part of a giant database getting sold around the bowels of the internet. But those email addresses getting targeted are almost certainly from, if you go to the About page on your YouTube channel, if you've got an email address listed here for business inquiries, I will put money on the fact that the email addresses have been screen scraped from YouTube, put into a giant database, and then sold on to hackers that way. And I would suggest, as a simple fix to stop this happening again, just take the email address out from here, unless you desperately need people to be able to contact you directly via the YouTube channel. But you could always tell people how to contact you via the description of the channel, and most channels have a million different ways that they can get in touch, you know, Instagram and Patreon and all that sort of thing. So you can completely avoid getting phished in the first place by just taking your email address out of here. But as I say, for older YouTube channels, it's almost certainly too late. Whatever email address you had in there will already be part of this database, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can obviously ditch that email address and not use it anymore, but the likelihood is you probably use that email address for other things. I must admit, I always did think it was a bit odd that YouTube would allow an email address to be visible to anyone like that. It was only a matter of time before people would get targeted, and that's exactly what's happened. And in the next video, I'm going to take you through setting up the Google Titan security key with the advanced account protection from Google. And hopefully once that's set up, I'll get a better night's sleep. I'll pop a link in the description below to that video once it's all up and running. Shouldn't be long, but don't forget to hit subscribe. Take care, folks, and I shall see you next time. Bye.